Guests frequently ask me, why does Castello di Amorosa appear so real? It appears real because it is real. It's authentic. We either used very old handmade materials or we did it the way it would have been done 700-800 years ago. And I'll give you some examples. First of all, I shipped almost 200 containers of old handmade antique materials from Europe to build the castle. The Romans invented cement, but in the Middle Ages, the art of making cement was lost. So all these stones are held together without cement. The mortar is a mixture of lime, water, and sand because they didn't have cement in the Middle Ages. Therefore, we didn't use cement. And we used the same type of hand tools that would have been used in the Middle Ages, on and on. I'll give you further examples. This is called an anello da cavallo. It's where you tie up your horse. Everything made by hand over the open fire. There's 7 windows on the outside of the Great Hall. Every window surround is made uniquely. You can see all 7 of them because they wouldn't have had a series all identical like we would do today in the 21st century. Everyone would have been unique. The earliest architecture, one of the earliest buildings was the Great Hall. And you can tell this by the type of stone and the way it was cut. The stone was all squared between the 10th and 13th century. That's Romanesque style. Over on the opposite wall, where the tower is, there's a lot of rubble, stone, a mixture of broken brick, and even some roof tiles shoved in the wall. That would have been probably 14th to 16th century. And I don't know the cause for that, but probably labor was more expensive, so they didn't square the stone as often as they would have earlier in the early Middle Ages. And then you look at what we call the Castaldo, which is where the guests buy their tickets. Now, it's obviously a very different stone. And this, again, would have happened. Over a period of time, they would have exhausted a quarry and would have had to find a new quarry. And of course, nothing came from hundreds of miles away. They would have had to find a quarry and timber close by. And they did find a new quarry. But notice the stone is very different for the Castaldo than it is for the walls here. And the bricks I'm standing next to, they're all made by hand. They're hundreds of years old. Everything is made by hand. Or we use antiques that we ship from Europe. Take the roof tiles, for instance. You can just barely see the roof on the Castaldo. They were all made by hand. And why are they shaped the way they are? Because they were made over the thigh. The clay was molded over the thigh. And the roof tiles are all different sizes. Some people were taller, some shorter. So the roof tiles are all different sizes. But that's the way it would have been done. All the door surrounds, they're not all equal. All the stones surrounding the doors and windows. Because they never would have been equal. They would have shaped them the best they could, but they couldn't have made them equal. We didn't have the technology. They didn't have the machines in the Middle Ages to do it perfectly. And that's the beauty, in my way of thinking, of the castle. The beauty is that it wasn't perfect. It was it had its own particular beauty in that it was imperfect. And we have 107 rooms in the castle. Every room is different. And it's all the ideas I got over a period of years doing my research in Italy. About 95 of those rooms are devoted to winemaking, and the rest of the rooms are devoted to the royal apartment, the church, rooms where we entertain our guests, do wine and food pairings, so forth.